Jordan. When I started my activism in 2009, between me and my wife, we had 7 properties, 2 businesses and 7 properties. All of my mortgages were 100% legit. And what they'd done is they went and got a 5-year investigation, and in their warrants, they went through my mum's accounts, my dad's accounts, every family member bank accounts. Now, what they got on my brother-in-law who was 21 or 22 at the time, he bought his first property. Now, when he bought his first property, the banks used to encourage self-certification mortgages. So it was encouraged by the banks. So basically, if you want to get a mortgage, as long as you put down 20% deposit, you could just self-certify how much you earn. You don't have to show your wage. You don't have to show your contract from your company. You self-certify. Now, as I said, I had 7 properties. I was buying repossessions and doing them up and keeping them. We were remortgaging the money. There's no question about any of my mortgages, So my brother-in-law, I lent him £20,000 as a young man to get his first property. He bought a property. He said it was £80,000. He bought it. He put £20,000 down, £60,000. He spent 9 months doing it up. He sold it 9 months later. So he buys the property. He said he earned £20,000 a year, but really he earned 12. So he buys it. He gets a mortgage. He sells it. The mortgage company are paid back. 3 or 4 years later, after this, they come in, they go through all the forms and they say, well, he lied on his mortgage form, which the whole country lied on their self-certification mortgage forms. It was encouraged. They had no evidence against me. He lied on his form. What he lies on his form has nothing to do with me. So they get him, and then they say that when he sells the property, so he buys it for 80, he sells it for 120 after doing the property up after 9 months. He makes a profit. The mortgage company are paid back, so there's no one been defrauded. They then say that the profit then becomes the proceeds of crime because he lied on his mortgage form. What do? They nick him and they nick me. They then charge me on tax evasion. They go through my companies. They charge me on tax evasion. They say I owed them £137,000 tax. They hold me on these conditions for 4 years, Jordan. They freeze my assets. They closed. I had 2 successful companies. Both of them were closed down. So people understand the truth of what went on with the mortgage fraud. I had no mortgage fraud. They got me on tax. I got not guilty within 2 hours of the tax investigation. What they then done in court was they listed my wife to stand trial for tax. Now, no one knows what my wife looks like or my children, even though the Daily Mail tried to expose them last week. No one knows. I can't walk down the street in the UK, without being prepared to fight. My wife can. So they then put her on trial. Then they pull me out of the court case. They sit me down and say, plead guilty to these charges. We drop your wife. We drop your other family members. So I took a plea deal. And I took a plea deal that got me 18 months in prison for a mortgage that had nothing to do with me, where a bank lost no money. So when people want to list, but remember, if you look now, when you look, and it frustrates me because I've never been tried by a jury, Jordan. All the other allegations you're going to read, look what they say in there. I lied about a Syrian refugee. Watch my documentary, Silence. I didn't lie about anything. I told the truth. They lied. They continuously lie. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. The assault charge, and again, this is all documented. The assault charges, I'm leading the English Defence League at the time. Every time we say we're against racism and we're not far right, the media say we are. So we had a problem with certain far right nationalist groups trying to attach themselves to our organisation. There's actually a film that was made by Channel 4. And when I sit down on the coach and they say, what do we expect today from the demonstration? I say, I'm going to kick all hell off. And they said, what do you mean? I said, we need a clear out. So I got on the stage at a demonstration, and I'm telling you this because I had no other choice. I'm leading a street protest movement. That's what I was leading. And we needed a clear out because the far right were continually trying to attach themselves to our movement. So I got on the stage at this, and this is on a documentary. I hold a Sikh lad's hand, Gurmit Singh, and I say, if you're in the crowd and you don't like what you see here, you're in the wrong place. This is our England, Not your England, not what you want for it. So show yourself. And I name a far-right group that were called the North East Infidels. I say, where are you? You go against everything we stand for, but you're in amongst our thousands of supporters. There's a little group of you, but you keep coming in our crowd and we don't want you here. So I call them out. Now, what I do is I leave the stage and I knock one of them out. And that was to cause a separation of the groups. And it totally worked. So when they talk about my assault, they don't want to explain that it was for a far-right Nazi wearing a Combat 18 t-shirt. They don't give you the context of what it was. Now, that was us making a conservative... I had to do that as a leader of an organisation when Nazis were trying to come on the streets with us. So I let them know, you're not coming. And then I made a video afterwards, Jordan, saying if anyone has a problem with that, if any of you, next time we come to us on the streets with you, it's on. And it's on from English men who don't want you there. They never come on the streets again, Jordan. Yeah, they had masqueraded themselves within our movement, and so that's the assault charge. So when they give this list of charges, one of the others is the mortgage fraud, the contempt proceedings. What you're going to soon read, Jordan, on my Wikipedia page is that I got 2 years in jail, which I face now, because I lied about a Syrian refugee. Watch the film. I didn't lie. I told the truth. So yes, they've tried to set an example about me. Are our courts weaponized?